Hello, my name is Kara Goodwin, and I'm host of the Meditation Conversation podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to share with you some things about dreams because our dream time is such an important part of our consciousness. But first, before I do that, I want to let you know about a couple of things that are coming up. A summit that I'm hosting soon, and it's the Miracles Summit. I have some amazing guests who are joining. Jamie Butler, who is an incredible medium, Maureen St. Germain, who's an incredible spiritual teacher, Michael Massey, who listeners of the Meditation Conversation have heard a lot of his episodes over the years. Lori Williams, who channels the Pleiadians. So there are and many, many more. Hillis Pugh and Seth Dietland, who channels the angels. So I hope that you will join. I've put the link in the notes. I need to get better about how to get to it from my website, but please join the Miracles Summit. We're going to be creating this amazing vortex of energy that you can just slip right into and really increase your vibration. That will be Thursday, November 14th. It will start at 6 p.m. Eastern. So, what I want to talk about mostly today, besides those things, is dreams. So, I actually woke up in the middle of the night last night and I felt sick to my stomach, which was really, really unusual. And I realized as I was waking up that I had been dreaming that I was in this churning water and it was like making me seasick. I mean, the way that I felt when I woke up, I felt seasick. And so I realized when I woke up, I was like, oh, I really don't feel well. And I wondered if I was going to need to throw up. And I remembered that the dream that I was having, and I'm like, well, maybe I just feel like that because I was in that churning water and it was like giving me a physical response because my consciousness didn't understand that I wasn't physically in that water. So I kind of just breathed and I tried to feel myself, in bed, in the present moment, in the waking time. And eventually I just thought, I'm just going to go to the bathroom just to be safe. And then I was sick. I got sick like several times, which has not happened in years. So it's really, really interesting. And it got me thinking that there is such a blur between our waking life and our dream life. And we tend to think of our dream life as like this playground, this like you know, nothing is happening that actually relates to our regular waking life. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes our dreams are just kind of sorting things out, processing things, maybe filing them away. Um, but sometimes our dreams are speaking to us. And the dream that I had last night, I just found really interesting that I was in that churning water. And then the way that it related to how I physically felt, it was this blurring of like, okay, I mean, I imagine what was happening is my body was starting to feel nauseous. And this dream was maybe kind of mirroring that. Um, and once I woke up, I understood that my body was feeling nauseous. But sometimes we're receiving messages in dreams and we don't necessarily know why and how they go together with our waking life. And this is where I recommend dream journaling. And I know that when I first started awakening years ago, I couldn't remember my dreams at all, like very, very rarely. And so what I began doing was creating a dream journal. And the way that this works is you have a pen and paper, pen and notepad next to your bed. And the first thing you do when you wake up is you write down whatever you can remember from your dream and you move as little as possible. You try not to talk to anybody before you do this. I don't recommend getting up and going to the bathroom because dreams are slippery. If you're like I was and you don't remember your dreams, very likely you were still having dreams. They just are so slippery that they're gone as soon as you wake up, basically. So you want to try to catch them while you're still in that hypnagogic state in between dreams and wakefulness. And So I think they sell dream journals. I don't have a specific like dream journal that I bought necessarily, but I have just a journal, like a notebook, a spiral bound notebook, and I keep it on my bed and I just write down whatever it is that I can remember. Now, I have had times where I've been having conversations with somebody and it really reflects what my dream was. Maybe not so much in a literal sense, but there are symbolic elements, or I might have like a feeling that I can remember in my dream. Sorry if you can hear any background noise. My dog is playing with her dolphin toy in the background. Um, but I dreams speak to us in symbols, just like with my dream last night where I was in this churning water and it was, I didn't even realize in my dream that I was feeling nauseous, but then when I woke up and I put two and two together, I was like, well, that makes sense that I was in this churning water and there's this seasick nauseous, opportunity there that was correlating with the way that my physical body was feeling. So, but a lot of times there is this symbolic nature to dreams, and we might begin to pick up on symbols that show up regularly for us. And we can utilize the internet. There are plenty of websites out there that offer interpretations to dream symbols, or we can think for ourselves. What does a grandfather clock, like what might that mean in my life? Maybe that means a grandfather, a physical, real grandfather or a grandfather figure. Maybe it's to do with time. There might be different things that our subconscious is utilizing that symbol for than what somebody else might interpret. The most important thing is your interpretation of it. And if you write it down, again, that helps you to seal in and remember the dreams. The other thing is going back and reading old entries and seeing how they're relevant today. So that knocks my socks off when I see something. I go back in my dream journal and I might read something from months ago and it has elements to it that are relevant for what's happening as I'm reading it, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I dreamt about this necklace that my dad gave to me in the dream. And then, as I'm reading this, there's something relevant to a necklace. I might be wearing a necklace that my dad gave me as I'm reading it, or something like that. But I also had this was a few years ago now, but I had a really interesting experience with a client of mine who had shared a dream that she had where she was with a couple, like a man and a woman, and they were in this like crystalline palace type of thing. I can't remember the odds and ends. It was a very etheric dream. And then I was like, as she's talking, I'm going, this sounds really similar to my dream. I mean, it wasn't a one for one, but it was very similar. And so I went back and, I could, as she's telling me, because it had been a few hours by then, it was like lunchtime or something. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to go check my dream journal. And I remember like sharing with her the elements of my dream that were so similar to the dream that she had had. So that's wild too. But I really would not have been able to pull together the details without having written it down. So, another thing that I recommend if you do have trouble remembering your dreams is vitamin B. Not being able to remember your dreams can be an indication of a vitamin B deficiency. I don't remember. There are several B vitamins. I can't remember off the top of my head if there's one particular one or if it's like a B complex supplement that might help. But you can research that and see if there's something, maybe you have some other signs of vitamin B deficiency, and your dream recall inability is one of them. So your body may be really wanting some vitamin B, and a lot of people are very deficient in vitamin B, by the way. And then the final thing that I will suggest is as you're falling asleep, requesting that you remember your dreams. So, remembering that you are a multidimensional being, you have different layers and levels of your own consciousness. And so, you can dictate I don't like that word, but you can suggest, that's a better word. You can invite your consciousness to help you for your waking consciousness to be able to remember your dreams. So I hope that that's helpful. I hope that you really dive into the dream time, get as much from it as you can, let it be fun. And thank you so much for being here, for watching. And I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.